spoiling President Emerson Mnangagwa SADC party. Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema's decision not to attend the 6th edition of the Southern African Development Committee SADC Summit in Harare yesterday overshadowed President Emerson Mnangagwa's accession to the helm of the regional bloc. The country will chair SADC for a year, and although the role is largely ceremonial, Zimbabwe had been hyping the summit, which Mnangagwa's government saw as an endorsement by the region after last year's disputed elections. Hichilema, the outgoing chairperson of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security, did not attend the event, opting to attend a traditional ceremony in his country. He was represented at the summit by Zambian Foreign Affairs Minister Mulambo Hayimbe. A SADC observer mission led by former Zambian Vice President Nevas Mumba discredited Zimbabwe's election, stating they failed to meet regional standards. Mumba's explosive report triggered an angry response from Mnangagwa's administration and ZANU-PF. They held fierce attacks against Mumba as they claimed that he was advancing the West's regime change agenda in Zimbabwe and supporting the opposition Citizen Coalition for Change. Sources said Hichilema conveyed his reasons for not attending the summit. He had other competing interests at home, a source said. The Zambian government conveyed this message to Zimbabwe. Though Hichilema did not travel to Zimbabwe for the summit, he addressed the SADC organ on politics and security virtually as its outgoing chairperson. While most SADC leaders were making their way to Harare on Friday, Hichilema chose to attend two events in Muwumbwa, where he was conferred with an honorary doctorate. Hichilema's itinerary yesterday showed that he officiated at this year's Buyele traditional ceremony in Chilenge district of Luapula earlier this year. Mnangagwa dodged a diplomatic storm after he told his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin during his visit to Moscow that the United States was establishing peace in Southern Africa through its ties with Lusaka, while Zimbabwe's relations with the U.S. have been frosty for the past 2 decades. Washington's ties with Lusaka have strengthened. Stephen Chan, a professor of world politics, said Hichilema's absence was a pointed comment against Mnangagwa's government. However, there was a lot of offense taken in Zambia quietly and diplomatically over Mnangagwa's opportunistic overture to Putin that the U.S. was militarizing in Africa through Zambia, when all that was happening was some basic military liaison that has led to nothing. Chan said Zambia's public opinion was that this was a form of cheap politics on Mnangagwa's part. Hichilema is showing his public that he shares their sense of grievance, but is also a message to Mnangagwa that under Hichilema's president, Zambia is an open society, but Zimbabwe is not. Political analyst McDonald Lewanika echoed similar sentiment. His absence, regardless of reasons given and pronouncements sent, is not a diplomatic but an overt message of displeasure from Lusaka around how Harare has conducted itself in the past, and the egregious human rights infractions it continues to perpetrate in full view of the world, and expecting that world to stay silent, Lewanika said. So that was there on today's standard. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right about now. And now, what has happened to Sengezo Sabangu? Sengezo